Okay, so on this question, it's saying, suppose you take a standardized test and you are in the 13th percentile. So what does this percentile mean? What is the meaning of that? Well, let's if you go to the notes, so here's the exam 4 notes. And I said the meaning of percentile. The percentile score tells us the percentage of the group that is below, that should say our spot. I'll have to fix that. So for example, a 10th percentile means 10% of the class got lower, 9% got higher. So I think I can do better than that. Let me be more clear. So what it means, it's a ranking system. So it means if you go from 0, if you go from 0% to 100%, you're at the 13th percentile. What that means is you're about, I don't know, about right here. You're 13% along the way. So a percentile is a ranking system from 0 to 100. So if you took some standardized tests, and this is what they do use this, by the way, all the time for elementary school, all that special state testing they do for elementary school students. So this will be an important word, statistical word that you'll be explaining to parents and to children on what their child's score means. So if a child scores at the 13th percentile on a test, it doesn't mean they got 13% of the questions right. It doesn't mean that. It's how they rank compared to everybody else who took the test. So if they got at the 13th percentile, that would mean, from 0 to 100, they rank 13% of the way along. They're kind of a low score. They're getting quite a bit lower. 50% would be average, right in the middle, right? So it's a ranking system. It's a ranking compared to the other test scores is what it is. It's how you did compared to everybody else. So which one of these is right then? You scored 13% lower than the class average? No. 13% of the scores were your score or lower? Yeah, that's exactly it. 13% of the scores, right, where you're at, 13% of the scores are right there, right? You're 13% along the way. 13% of the scores are your score or lower. That's right. Okay, what about this? Does that mean you failed the test? Think, well, I got pretty low, I must have failed. No, not necessarily. It depends on how the rest of the class did. If the scores were really high, it's possible that you got a passing score. Yeah, that's exactly it, actually. It's this one. What? Now, why? Well, like, what if I gave a test? I do give tests. What if on the last test I gave, like, everybody did super well? I had a summer class, actually, this last summer. And everybody, they were all A's and B's, the entire 18 students, they all got A's and B's. So you could have a person who is lower compared to other people, but they still passed. Like in that class of my student, I had 18 students, everybody got A's and B's. Literally, there were no C's, no D's, no F's. It was great. Everybody got A's and B's. So even if somebody got lower than other people, maybe 13 percentile, they got a low B or something, they still passed. So does that make sense? So percentile doesn't necessarily mean pass or fail. It means how you did compared to other test scores. 13%. Yeah, you did lower than most people, but if everybody, scores were really high, then yeah, you might still be doing well. You're just not doing as well as all those other super high people, but you're still doing well. So there it is. That's what that means.